Hey everybody, it's Jason and JV, and we are in Gardner, Massachusetts at,
S.K. Pierce Mansion.
so let's check this place out. We're going to be investigating it for the next few days, few nights and days. But I've been here twice on ghost hunters.
This is another great example of how the paranormal has saved and allowed people to enjoy a historic location. Because this place has been restored and it's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, from last time I was here. I mean, just to see it now. All right, so let's start. We'll go in here.
We should mention that the door we just came in is actually the servants' entrance originally. It's where the domestic help would come and go, not to be, so they weren't seen by the main house.
That's right. All right, so this is the old P.T. Barnum mermaid,
Yeah,
Bali mermaid.
I think the Burma mermaid. I
Burma.
may have the geography wrong, but yeah, it was put on display as a mermaid, and I love those. It's kind of kitschy Americana stuff, all that P.T. Barnum stuff. And this is one example. We've got one in Cooperstown, the Cardiff Giant. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see it when you
I
were there.
haven't yet. Yeah.
It's cool, but these things, these are just obviously this looks like a chimpanzee skull, and it was fused to some other something, bones with some kind of skin wrapped around it and sold as a mermaid. I was also told we were told this is real human hair.
I wouldn't know anything about that. All right. So S.K. Pierce, this property was built, when was it built, Jim?
1875.
1875 by Sylvester Pierce. He owned the building across the street, which was a furniture building.
Yeah, he made chairs and furniture.
And he made so much in chairs that he built this place just to show off pretty much how much he had made in chairs.
Yeah, it's a real showpiece of a property, but he also had something like 180 properties total. I mean, he continually invested in real estate. And he is one of these guys that you look at the turn of century of America, like, 1900, and it's one of these guys. He started working at that factory 14 years old and worked his way up to becoming the owner of the factory.
You don't see that much anymore.
Nope, you don't.
All right, so this is the main living room. This is the main doorway right here where they would have come in and out. The factory right across the street, they have a tunnel in the basement. It's filled in now, but it used to connect to the factory. So
Yeah, so they never had to go outside.
exactly. I mean, in the winter, it's smart.
Yeah.
Now, this room was where, I mean, it's another sitting room, but they would also hold the wakes, people's funerals and stuff, because back then they didn't have funeral homes.
Yeah, they did it in the house. They would put the casket on a table or a dais of some kind and display the body, and people would come and pay their respects at the home. And I'm not even sure. I mean, I guess there probably was some rudimentary embalming, but probably not by today's standards.
No.
So,
All right. Just things show some of the activity here. They've caught what appears to be children. Also, this weird floating lady in the basement. This is S.K. Pierce and his second wife, Ellen.
yep.
Now, his first wife, Susan, died just a couple weeks after he finished building this property.
Well, yeah, she lived here for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then died here in the property. Then his next wife, Ellen, 30 years is younger. Nice job, Mr. Pierce. She ended up passing away. Mr. Pierce passed away here at the property.
Yeah.
And there's been some strange reports. I'll show you in the basement. They dug it in this old fire pit down there. They dug up human bones. And there's claims, now it's not documented, but there's claims that Mr. Pierce's son, Frank, had a relationship with a 16-year-old servant. And I don't know if it's consensual or not. She got pregnant, and that's how they got rid of her, resolved that problem.
They couldn't allow that to become public.
So,
well, we do know for fact that the bones they found were human bones. We know that as fact. The rest of it is, we don't have
questionable.
documentation. Yeah.
Right there, that's the old dumbwaiter.
Who you calling a dumbwaiter?
Well, it's when you bring me my food. That's how I refer to you. Hey, dumbwaiter, grab me a sandwich. That's Frank, right?
I think so, yeah.
Frank took over the house after his parents died. I know there was some arguments between family members, between the three sons. Frank ended up taking over the house. It kind of lost the business. The house fell into disarray. They started using it as boarding home and stuff, anything to pay the bills on it. Here we are today. All right. So that first staircase you saw right there was the servant staircase, which is pretty damn impressive for the servant staircase.
It really is. Most servant staircase or domestic helper are very plain, very simple.
Yeah.
That's really ornate. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. All right, you have bathroom straight ahead. This is the dining room area, which last time I was here, the people living here who were having experiences were using this as a living room. And they kept hearing what they said were glasses shattering and things falling in this room. But the thing is, you can see everything in this room. So nothing was actually moving. Let's go down and look at the cellar before we go upstairs. Because the cellar, there's all crazy claims. Floating ladies and children and all stuff like that. All right, let's go.
Battery still good?
Yep, battery's good. All right, I made my son stay down here alone last night. You can check that out. Just look up Austin Hawes on YouTube.
He was not happy about it.
He was not. No.
He was not.
All right, so this room right here, this fire pit right here in front of me was the one that they dug bones out of. See if I can show you in that. So weird. Again, human bones. This area right here is where somebody outside took a picture, and it's kind of a cool picture of this really dark figure hovering, looked like female.
Yeah, either she was 8 feet tall or she was elevated because the head was up in that part of the window in the picture. Hopefully we can share that picture.
Yeah, that'd be neat. All right. Of course, you have the big cistern here. Would have been used for catching water, rainwater. As you can see, there's the pipe. We would actually fill this up with water so they had usable water in the house. Of course, this access would not have been there because it would have been a closed thing, so it held the water in. You sit there. What?
I think this is the dumbwaiter too.
Yeah.
Comes all the way down.
They made them close that up upstairs. The fire department made them close it up for fire reasons. But yeah. All right. Again, these stairs would have been for the servants to use. Such a, it makes you wonder, what did they use that big?
That's a grindstone.
Yeah, of some sort, right?
Like a milling stone. I would think. Either that or it's a counterweight. I mean,
I see the hook on
given
it,
this on this side, I almost think that may have been served as some kind of counterweight to something. I don't know.
That's where they're running their security system. All right. In this room, somebody used to live in this room because they were the person whose job it was to fill coal into the heating system. They used to be down here. Just thank God that's gone, because it was here when I first filmed here.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah, it was big old asbestos system. Yeah.
Man, and I don't know if you can tell in the video, but these ceilings are like 9 feet tall.
Oh, they're tall. Well, figure when it was originally built, this concrete floor wouldn't have been here. It would have been dirt.
Maybe. One of the stories they told me today was when they built the house, it was one of the first with a poured concrete floor.
Oh, really?
So maybe.
So this right here used to be the entrance to the tunnel that would go directly across the street to where Mr. Pierce's furniture shop was. So they never had to go outside and deal with the elements. I mean, there's claims through this entire basement. And if you look right across the street, it says Standard Gardner, Standard of Gardner. And that is where the furniture shop used to be. And there's reports here of everybody from Betty Davis. I mean,
Former presidents.
yeah, Minnesota Fats pool player, and yeah, all staying here. So really cool. All right, now we will take you to the second floor because it's freaking cold down here
It's
still.
really cold down here.
I know you can't tell on camera, but it's freaking cold. All righty. Now there's been spirits. There's been what they believe to be ghosts seen right here at the railings. And last night we had some wild stuff happening. So this first room we're going to go to is called the Red Room. All right. As you can see, got equipment all set up in here. But this is where Susan and Ellen both took their last breaths.
Yeah, Ellen and I don't know if it was 1875 or 76 ultimately, but 2 weeks after they moved in. I'm sorry, Susan, 2 weeks after they moved in, and Ellen in 1902.
A lot of claims in this room. And there used to be a sink and stuff in this closet. Not anymore, though.
Is this locked? Oh no. It's a matching closet.
Another closet. And there's this. So, to show you some other rooms real quick. Hang on. Another room in here.
So this room, this chase here, which they put a door on, but this was the dumbwaiter, which, as Jay mentioned, they had to seal off for fire reasons. But one of the tour guides, children or grandchildren, I'm not sure, was playing around up here and was in this little area, closed the door, and got pushed out. Something pushed this little boy out, and he won't come back in the house. And 30 years later, he still won't come back in the house.
So you see these little tubes right here in the wall. So these used to be for you to speak through. And I guess this one, strangely, this was for the nanny. And this one went directly to Mr. Pierce's room.
Yes.
Well, we'll leave that one. Yeah. I mean, I think that's like every story you hear out of Playboy and stuff, right? Jeez. All right. It's your little closet space. This one's got a nice little sink in it.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
All marble. This is the nursery?
Yeah. Yep, the nursery. Now, this picture right here, somebody had stayed in this room. Well, it was, yeah. You want to tell the story?
If I remembered who it was, I could tell the story.
Right. Somebody had stayed in this room, and their claim was that a man came up through the floor and grabbed them and held them down. And they quickly, finally that stopped and they were terrified. But quickly they grabbed some paper and they sketched what they said that man looked like. So, and this is an image of what they said that man looked like. So,
They're the big eyes.
yeah.
How big the eyes are.
Jeez, it's weird.
It is weird.
All right. Moving on, we have a bathroom here. These are the stairs that you can see when we first came in, the servants' quarter stairs. Another bathroom right here. This room we're heading to now actually had a fire when this was a boarding house. And there were claims that it was human combustion, but honestly, it doesn't appear that any of that is true. It appears that this man fell asleep with a cigarette and caught himself on fire. But here you can read there's a burned piece of wood and square-headed nail reclaimed from the guest bedroom ceiling where Mr. Eno Sari passed away in a tragic fire April 9th, 1963. So,
His death certificate is a copy of it here.
okay, we'll get a copy of that.
When the fire department arrived, the fire was already self-extinguished. He was dead.
And these are offerings to him. I guess he liked alcohol.
I guess so.
All right.
The closet there, this over here was Mr. Pierce's office.
All right. So this is Mr. Pierce's room, right?
Yep.
And again, there's an image of Mr. S.K. Pierce.
This is the only bedroom that has a fireplace in it. So before central heat, this was the only bedroom that was heated.
It's crazy.
And here's where those, right, the speaking tubes come out.
Yes. So come to my room, Margaret.
Margaret.
I was trying to think of the times, right? Okay. Now up one more flight. Last night we had some wild experiences in here. It was kind of creepy.
It was creepy.
And some strange things coming from up here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. And this would have all been the servants' quarters back then, right?
Servants'
Top
quarters
floor.
and the billiard room.
That's right. So up here we have another bathroom.
And again, we're on the 3rd floor, and it's like 10-foot ceilings.
It's tall. Some of the claims in here were of, well, there were 2 servants who were in this room, right?
Yeah, it's believed that the head servant, the person who was in charge of the rest of the servants, stayed in this room, and one other female servant did too. And a lot of people who investigate here will, if they're in this room, they hear girls talking and giggling outside the door, and if they're outside the door, they hear it in the room.
It's weird. All right, let's go down here.
You hear whistling right now?
Yeah, I just heard.
Did you just hear it?
Yeah, I heard a whistle, and we heard whistles last night.
I
too,
know.
which is weird.
Sounded like it was coming from that big room over there.
We were in this room last night, and we heard footsteps in that corner, and nobody.
That's right.
It made no sense to us. Where does that door go?
That goes to the tower.
Oh, okay, we're gonna go check that out real quick. I want to show you in here. This would have been the room to have.
It's a
I'm
nice
telling you.
room.
That is a big room. Or this one right here.
Yeah.
This room right here is huge. Look at this. Wow. That's cool.
This would be this would be a great studio.
It would.
Imagine making it in the studio.
All right, let's go to that tower, Jimmy.
Let's do it.
It's been a long time since I've been up here. Wow. I cannot believe the amount of renovations they did. This is amazing. Wow, look at this. It's like a widow's watch.
Really is. Beautiful day for it too.
This is cool.
Really cool. So the factory's right over there.
Yeah. There's the factory right there.
Even the brickwork on the chimneys is cool.
Yeah, I mean, they put a cross in it.
Yep.
Wow.
So Mr. Pierce was a Mason. So there were a lot of Masonic meetings here too. In fact, I think that big room on the servants level, one of those rooms, I'm not sure, was used as a Masonic meeting hall too. It may have been the billiards room. Did we go in there? I don't think we went in. We didn't go in there.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
And I think this beautiful property is going to be going up for sale soon.
Hopefully it stays available to people because it's so cool. Yeah, this is the billiard room.
Yeah.
So the investigators here and the tour guides here, and I don't know if they say this publicly on the tours, but the room behind Jason, it's a big closet. And based on some of the things they've experienced, they've dubbed that the rape room. And some very unsavory things.
What's it called?
The rape room.
Jesus.
And supposedly, again, a lot of this is conjecture or based on paranormal evidence that's been captured here, that some very unspeakable things were done in that room over time.
So don't go in that closet.
Don't go in there.
Place is gorgeous.
What was that? Is that a baby cry?
I don't know what that was. That was
Sound like a.
walk on the floor again. It wasn't. No. I mean,
No.
it didn't sound like it came from in here anyway.
No, it didn't. It sounded like it was out there somewhere. That was
Um,
weird.
That was really strange. Another closet. It's only Jim and me here.
Right.
So,
Yeah, all the staff left.
oh, what the hell that was, though? Hello?
Is that you opening the door?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Oh, this thing.
Oh, that's okay. So this is the other water cistern. So this is a completely original, and this would collect rainwater from the roof.
Yep.
It would drain into here off of the roof, and this is where they would store it. And when this got full, there's a valve somewhere. It would empty it into the one in the basement.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't have municipal water back then.
Yeah, it's true. If they had a drought,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Yeah.
I still don't know what that noise was, though. That was so weird.
It was when we were in the billiard room. We heard it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talking about the rape room.
All right. We heard somebody make a sound while we were just in here. Let's see if I can put this down. Yeah. Somebody made a noise when we just were talking about what's said about this closet area.
Do you know something about this room? You know, there's traffic out there. We can hear that, but that's not what we heard.
No, it sounded
Something very
like a
different.
cry or something.
Yeah.
A whine. My name's Jason. I've been here a few times in the past. This is my friend Jim. We were asked to come and look into this property again. Is there something you can tell us about that closet that people call the rape room? I hate to even say that.
I know. I know.
I mean, it was loud.
It was really loud.
Probably caught it in the microphones.
Do you need help? Is there something that you need help?
Is there something you want to say or something you want people to know? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully you all hear that.
Yeah, I hope we caught it. We heard a whistle and that what sounded like some kind of distress call.
That's weird. When we were downstairs, so when we were downstairs on the first floor last night, we had a bunch of sounds, but most of them sounded like they came from the second floor. Then we came up to the second floor and we kept hearing tons of sounds happening on the third floor. Came up to the third floor, nothing. And, there were a couple quick sounds, but then nothing. But then when we went down to the second floor again, sounds happened on the third floor. And it's like, no matter where you are, the activity tries to keep a floor away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of strange. And now there's absolutely no sounds. I don't know. It's wild. I thought the light was on here. It's so bright.
It does look like it's on.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Yeah,
Last night was good.
We've got a lot of ground to cover still. A lot that we didn't get to.
Why is my camera moved again?
It's really moved this time.
All right. So this camera right here, I put up yesterday. Our sons, Austin and James, were investigating, and they came walking by, and we have the footage, and heard a noise and looked, and my camera, this camera right here, the cord was swinging and the whole thing had been pulled, shifted. So we fixed it. We got that video. We got it saved. I don't know when it changed to that direction. So now we need to go back through it and see when or what happened that made it move. Because I mean, I can do that wirelessly, but I have to actually be connected to the app. So it'd be interesting to see what.
Yeah. Well, what time that happened?
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the walkthrough of S.K. Pierce Mansion in Gardner, Mass. Look for the investigation next week, but it's an interesting one. It really is. Been a lot of wild things.
Beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful home.
Thanks for joining us. Steve, keep it real, and on to the next. We do got to see why that moved like that.
That's weird.
That's something's not right there.